So Prabhuji has studied from Bangalore itself. So Prabhuji has done his masters from ISC in Bangalore around 2006. And presently now Prabhuji has been contributing so much to the whole ISKCON society. So Prabhuji is dean of Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapeeth, Govardhan village, and Prabhuji is also head of ISKCON Board of Examinations. He's also part of GEP Administrative Council. So when he was here in ISC, he had produced more than 12 technical papers that engage in that, in the service of the Lord. Prabhuji has given discourses on Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vaishnava literatures of more than 8,000 hours. And not only that, Prabhuji is also author of more than 40 plus books. And Prabhuji's books are so famous that all of you know that anybody has to do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Bible, we use Prabhuji's Subodhini books, as all of you are aware of. And Prabhuji also has mastered and written, so many tales for the children, which are very helpful for the children. And on all of these services, Prabhuji, he has also received the award of spiritual scientist. Vivah! So we are very, very grateful that Prabhuji is here with all of us to enlighten us. So Prabhuji is actually known for making the timeless wisdom of the Srimad Bhagavatam, making it accessible, relatable, and applicable to all of us in our daily practice of Krishna consciousness. So let us all, with our wholeheartedness, welcome Prabhuji to ISKCON Kshetra by one time loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare. Am I audible? Volume. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Better. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगामयी की यमुनामयी की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी देवी की कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees at ISKCON Seshadripuram. I seek blessings from Bhaktivinoda Prabhu, Anukul Keshav Prabhu, and all the senior Vaishnavas here. Very happy and grateful to be amongst all of you on this auspicious day. You all have gathered in huge numbers in this conch shell shaped, wonderful temple hall of Jagannath Ji. Very amazing. I began my chanting of Hare Krishna in this place. And again I'm back here. Very happy. Actually, bhakti is very simple. For complicated minds, bhakti may seem complicated, but bhakti is very simple. As Krishna very beautifully describes in Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti pahritam ashnami prayatatmanah. Patram, just offer a little leaf to Krishna. Pushpam, one little flower. Phalam, fruit. Toyam, water. Fruits you may not be able to afford sometimes. But water is something simpler. So these four simple items, even poor people also have access to. And Krishna describes the profound nature of Bhakti Yoga and also the simplicity of Bhakti Yoga. You can easily impress Krishna, please Krishna by making such simple offerings. It's not necessary for a devotee to be a multi-millionaire to impress Krishna. It's not necessary for a devotee to be a scholar to please Krishna. So Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, they are not qualifications to please Krishna. And if somebody has them, they don't become disqualifications also to please Krishna. So they are neither qualifications nor disqualifications. If you have them, dovetail in Krishna consciousness. If you don't have them, fine. You can offer simple things to Krishna and become an object of your grace. So Krishna describes the simplicity of Bhakti Yoga, and his wonderful representatives, exalted devotees like Srila Prabhupada, made that process of Krishna Bhakti very accessible, relatable, digestible, and actionable for the entire humanity across the globe. So it's our great fortune to be connected to this glorious Vaishnava Parampara through the grace of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we have the fortune of access to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Krishna's mercy, Acharya's mercy. All we need to do is to be ready to accept that grace. For those who are willing to accept that grace gratefully, bhakti is very simple. Advancement in bhakti is also very simple, despite all the kinds of obstacles and distractions and allurements. But that does not mean we become lax. We need to be very cautious and have a healthy fear of Maya also. Now Krishna is impressed with Patram. Can you just imagine? Out of these four items, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, we have one exalted devotee, Advaitacharya. He offered one Tulsi Patram and Toyam, Ganga Jal. So Tulsi Dala and Ganga Jal. So these two are very dear to the Lord, and just by offering these simple things to Saligram, Advaitacharya prayed for the descent of Lord Krishna on this planet in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to create a spiritual transformation in the entire humanity by inaugurating the Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan. All he offered is some Tulsi leaves and Ganga Jal to Shaligram, to Supreme Lord Krishna in his beautiful, simple form. Tulasi Dala Matrena, just by offering one little Tulsi leaf, the Lord can be so impressed. The Lord feels that By offering this Tulsi leaf, this devotee has purchased me. This devotee bought me. This is the right price. The Lord cannot be purchased by offering hundreds and thousands of dollars or pounds or rupees, but the Lord can easily be purchased by offering a Tulsi Dala, Tulsi leaf, and little Ganga Jal. Even if you don't have Ganga Jal with you, Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesman Sanidham Guru. You invoke the presence of all the holy rivers in whatever clean water that you have access to. Prabhupada writes this in the fourth canto purports. And then offer it to Krishna. Krishna will be happy to receive and bless and be sold out to such a devotee. Jihve kirtaya keshavam muraripum cheto bhaja sridharam pani dvandva samarchayachyuta katha shrotradvayatvam shrunu Krishnam lokaya lochana harer gacchangri yugmalayam jighra ghrana mukunda pada tulasi murdhanna madhokshajam. In the Mukunda Mala Stotra, Kulashekar Alvar says, Jihve kirtaya, utilize your tongue in glorifying Krishna. Moraripum cheto bhaja. You worship the Lord, you think of the Lord, you meditate on the Lord within your mind. Sridharam panidvandva samarchaya. With your two hands, just do archana, worship the Supreme Lord Sridhara, who holds Lakshmi Devi on his chest. Panidvandva samarchayachyuta katha shrotradvayatvam shrunu. With your two ears, you hear Krishna katha, achyuta katha. You hear the infallible glories of the infallible Lord Krishna. Panidvandva samarchayachyuta katha shrotradvayatvam shrunu. Krishnam lokaya lochana harer. With your two eyes, you see the beautiful form of Krishna. Gacchangri yugmalayam. With your 2 feet, you walk to the temple of the Lord. Jighra ghrana mukunda pada tulasi murdhanna madhokshajam. With your nostrils, you try to smell the fragrance of tulasi leaves offered to Krishna's lotus feet. And with your head, you bow down in front of Krishna. Just the simple act of offering these simple offerings to Krishna and smelling the fragrance of tulasi leaves offered to the Lord can give us tremendous amount of spiritual advancement, so much so that an impersonalist can become a pure devotee. You know the example, the 4 Kumaras. Once they were very eager to go to Vaikuntha and have the darshan of the Lord. Somehow, at the entrance of the Vaikuntha, at the 7th gate, they passed through 6 gates very easily, but when they came to the 7th gate, the doorkeepers Jaya and Vijaya were standing there. They blocked the entrance of these 4 Kumaras. Then these 4 Kumaras became angry. Then they cursed the Jaya and Vijaya. Then, understanding that something is happening at the 7th gate, some conflict, some quarrel is happening at the 7th gate, Lord Vishnu along with Lakshmi Devi and his associates came running to the 7th gate. Then for the first time, these 4 Kumaras saw the beautiful form of Krishna, of Lord Narayana, along with Lakshmi Devi. And the divine darshan completely enlivened their mind and senses. And specifically, the fragrance emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord entered the nostrils of these 4 Kumaras. And there was a transformation in their heart. They became pure devotees. Tasyara vindanayanasya padara vinda kinjalka mishra tulasi makaranda vayu antargatah swavivarena chakara tesham sanshobhamaksharajusham apichitta tanvo tasya aravindanayanasya padara vinda. Aravindanayana means the Lord who has lotus eyes, lotus-like eyes. Aravindanayana padaravinda. And Peter also compared to lotuses. Kunti Maharani compares all the limbs of the Lord with lotuses. Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya, Namaha Pankaja Malini, Namaha Pankaja Netraya, Namaste, Pankajangharai. So Tasyaravinda Nayanasya Padaravinda Kinjalka Mishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu. Kinjalka Mishra Tulasi. The Lord's body has a natural divine spiritual fragrance. And you offer tulsi leaves to the lotus feet of the Lord along with chandan, which is also fragrant. So the combined fragrance of the natural bodily fragrance of the Lord and the tulsi leaves, the combined fragrance of the Lord's body and the tulsi leaves can create transformation in the hearts of devotees. Kinjal ka mishra tulasi makaranda vayu. This vayu, the breeze of Vaikuntha, carried the fragrance of the tulsi leaves off to the lotus feet of Narayana all the way to the nostrils of the four Kumaras. They become pure devotees. There's a transformation in their hearts. So this is the power of Tulasi. In the fourth canto of Bhagavatam, Narada Muni speaks to Dhruva Maharaj. He says, Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum. Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum means the Lord likes Tulasi so much. Tulsi Maharani. In fact, Vrindavan is a place where Tulasi plants are grown profusely. It's Vrindavan. It's the forest of Vrindadevi. Tulasi leaves are growing profusely there. And Prabhupada writes in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 15th chapter, he says that early in the morning, Tulasi plants emanate such divine spiritual fragrance that only devotees who are spiritually advanced can relish. Spiritually advanced devotees can relish and recognize that divine fragrance of Tulsi leaves that comes early in the morning especially. And there are so many plants in Vaikuntha. There are so many flowers in Vaikuntha. All these flowers have different sizes and shapes and different flavors of fragrances, different colors. Some have 5 petals, some have 8 petals, some have 10 petals, some have 1,000 petals, some have 100 petals. Sahasradala Padma, maybe Satasahasradala Padmas are also there. So there are so many flowers and plants of different colors and fragrances and shapes and sizes. But whenever Tulsi Maharani is present, all these flowers will take a low profile and encourage Tulsi Maharani. You please go and offer to the Lord. So in your offering, if one type of flower is not there, still you can offer. But Tulsi is not there, then offering is not complete. Mandara kunda kurabotpala champakarna punnaganaga bakulambuja parijata gandherchite tulasika bharanena tasya yasmim stapaha subanaso bahumanayanti. Mandara, Kunda, Kuraba, Utpala, Champaka, Arana, Punnaga, Naga, Bakula, Ambuja, Parijata. I don't know the English equivalent names of these flowers. Even Srila Prabhupada also writes in the purport, we don't know the English equivalents of all these flowers. So there is no translation. Mandara, Mandara. Kunda, Kunda. Some have some English equivalents. So many such divine flowers are there, but they all take a low profile. Gandherchite tulasika bharani natasya yasmimstapaha sumanaso bahumanayanti. Gandherchite. Now we do archan with flowers. But how will the flowers do archan of Krishna? Gandherchite. Flower has gandha. And just like we have our hands, we utilize the hands to do archan of Krishna. And whoever has something, that only they can utilize to worship the Lord. So what does the flowers have? Fragrance. So they worship the Lord with their fragrance. That is their offering. Now whenever Krishna goes to a river, a water body, whether it is Mansi Ganga, Radha Kund, or Shyam Kund, or Govinda Kund, or Navala Kund, or Apsara Kund, or whichever Kund, or Yamuna river itself, whenever Krishna goes to these water bodies in Vrindavan, all the water bodies become very eager to make their offerings to the Lord. You need hands to offer, right? So what are the hands of these water bodies? The waves are the hands. By using their waves as hands, they make offerings of lotus flowers to Krishna's lotus feet. Right? So there are some lotuses growing in these water bodies, and their waves are their hands. So with their waves, they push all these lotus flowers to the lotus feet of the Lord. And that's how the rivers worship Krishna. Like the different entities, whether human entities or non-human entities, all of them have a desire to worship the Lord in Vrindavan. Now, Gandherchite Tulasika Bharaniyana Tasya Yasmim Stapaha Sumanaso Bahumanayanti. Understanding that Tulsi Devi underwent so many austerities and so much worship she has done, so all the other flowers will take a low profile and encourage Tulsi Maharani, you please move ahead and then worship the Lord. So this is the speciality of Tulsi Devi. Then, say somebody cannot even afford to offer Tulsi leaves also. We have seen Advaita Acharya offer Tulsi leaves, Ganga water. One more important point about Ganga Devi. The first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ya Vaila Satshri Tulasi Vimishra Krishna Gharirenva Vyadhikambunetri. Ya Vaila Satshri Tulasi Vimishra. The water of Ganga river is constantly flavored with Tulsi leaves. You know how? Because this Ganga river is emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, the Ganga river automatically has the dust from Krishna's lotus feet, because Ganga came from the lotus feet. But at the lotus feet of Krishna, Tulsi leaves are always there. Therefore, the fragrance of Tulsi, the flavor of Tulsi is also mixed in Ganga water. So whenever you are taking bath in Ganga or sipping little water in Ganga, so you understand that you are coming in touch with Krishna's dust also and Tulsi leaves also. Yavai lasat Shri Tulasi Vimishra Krishna Gharirenva Vyadhikambunetri. So Tulsi leaves and Ganga water. So both are offered by Advaita Acharya. But there is another devotee who offered some phalam, fruits to Krishna. Who is that? Fruit vendor. And many devotees are there. All of us are also offering. But fruit vendor offered with some extra love. So she came with a basket filled with fresh fruits grown in Vrindavan. So when the fruit vendor came, she made an announcement. If anyone wants fresh fruits, you please take from me. Krishna wanted fruits. Generally, devotee goes to the Lord to offer something to the Lord. But here the Lord became very enthusiastic to run towards the devotee and accept the offering. So Krishna must have seen his elders, Yashoda Mata, Nanda Maharaj and many other elders, exchanging their grains for some fruits. So he also picked up little fruits, little grains in his little hands. He was hardly 2-3-year-old boy maybe. He picked up these grains in his little hands and ran very enthusiastically to the fruit vendor, attempting to offer these fruits, offer these grains. But by the time he reached the fruit vendor, most of the grains fell down. Already he was holding very few grains, and on top of it, most of them fell down. So when the fruits fell down, when the grains fell down, the fruit vendor did not feel bad that she did not get enough rate or enough grains for the fruit that she was about to offer. She just wanted to see the smile on Krishna's face. All she wanted to see is Krishna must be happily smiling with full satisfaction. What should I do for it? Just fill his hands with so many fruits. Sufficient. So with absolutely no expectation in return, she filled this boy's hands with so many fruits, as many as Krishna could hold. And her basket was filled with so many jewels. But the point is that devotee should offer something to Krishna without expecting anything in return. That's what the shloka says. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. You offer it with bhakti, devotion, which is by nature selfless. Anyabhilashita shunyam. And Krishna further says, Tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanah. Tadaham bhakti upahritam means that offering which is given to me, as a gift. Upahritam, upahar means you gifted it. When you gift something to your friend, will you expect something in return? If you're expecting something in return, can that be called as gift? No, right? So when you say bhakti upahritam, you are offering something to Krishna without expecting anything in return. That offering, Krishna is very enthusiastic to accept. So she offered fruits to Krishna without any expectations. But although she is not expecting, Krishna filled her basket with so many fruits, so many jewels. That was not her expectation. Okay, she got the jewels. Was she excited with the jewels? No. She did not pay much heed to the jewels that she received. She did not pay much heed to that. She is just happy that Krishna is happy. What satisfied the fruit vendor is not the number of jewels in her basket, it's the smile on Krishna's face. When you offer something to Krishna, when you do some service to Krishna, Krishna may bless us with something even beyond our expectation or without our expectation. But still, the devotee is not excited with the incentives or with the boons that Krishna has given. Devotee is excited with an opportunity to serve Krishna. Thank you very much, my dear Lord. I am very grateful for getting this opportunity to serve you in some way. That is the devotee's outlook. So when the devotion is selfless like this, then Krishna becomes very happy. And even without our asking, whatever we need, he will provide. Krishna promised. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will supply whatever you don't have. I will preserve whatever you have. Yogakshema, I will take care. Now you may think, I don't have a car, will Krishna supply a car? I don't have a diamond ring, will Krishna give me a ring? Or I have 1,000 acres land, will Krishna preserve it? Will I not lose it? So this is not the intention of Krishna when Krishna said Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. There are deeper meanings. Yoga means connection with Krishna, linking our consciousness with Krishna. So the word yoga refers to our attempts to connect with Krishna, our attempts to serve Krishna, our attempts to worship Krishna, our inspiration to approach Krishna. That is yoga, ultimately. Kshema means the prosperity or the protection or the blessing that Krishna gives in return to our attempt to connect with him. Clear? Now, when Krishna said Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham, one meaning is Krishna preserves whatever we have and Krishna supplies whatever we don't have, provided that is required for our advancement in bhakti. If what we have is not required for our advancement in bhakti, Krishna will not preserve it. If what we don't have is not required for our bhakti, Krishna will not give only. Right? So we don't have something. Krishna said, whatever you don't have, I will supply. Provided it is helpful for your bhakti. Otherwise, whatever you have also, Krishna will take care of it. You want example? Avanti Brahman. Avanti Brahman had so much wealth and Krishna did not preserve that wealth. In fact, Krishna arranged situations in such a way that he becomes poverty stricken so that he becomes serious in bhakti. So when Krishna is taking something away from us, don't misunderstand Krishna. Krishna, you have promised, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. How can you take back your promise? You should stick to your promise. We are believing you. We are reading your Gita. But devotee doesn't misunderstand Krishna when something unpleasant happens or when something is taken away from the devotee. Devotee understands that maybe Krishna thought that I don't need it for my spiritual progress, therefore he has taken it away. You want another example? Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was the king of all the three worlds. And Lord Vamanadev came in front of Bali Maharaj and begged for 3 steps of land and occupied the 3 worlds in 2 steps and says, where is your 3rd step? It's a very elaborate story. We can discuss it some other time. But in short, whatever Bali Maharaj had is not preserved by the Lord, in fact taken away by the Lord personally. At least in Avanti Brahman's case, the Lord has taken away the opulence of Avanti Brahman through other sources. But in Bali Maharaj's case, the Lord has personally taken all the opulence of Bali Maharaj. Because it's not required for Avanti Brahman to have so much wealth. In fact, that could be a distraction also. Whenever the Lord thinks that having opulence or fame, name, prestige, etc., is a distraction in my devotees' bhakti, the Lord will take it away. So one may think that I don't have this, I don't have that. Fine. Or Krishna is not giving me this, or Krishna is not giving me that. Actually, Krishna is more concerned about our spiritual progress than our material prosperity. If material prosperity that we have is beneficial for our spiritual progress, then Krishna will keep it with us. Krishna will give more also, our lelo. But if whatever material prosperity we have is not required for our bhakti, in fact that's a distraction in our bhakti, then Krishna will take it away. That's what Yogakshemam Vahamyaham means. And coming back to the definitions of yoga and kshema. Yoga means connection with Krishna. When Krishna said Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, he also meant that I will preserve your yoga, means I will preserve your inspiration to connect with me. Actually, the greatest loss is not loss of wealth. The greatest loss is not loss of followers or fame. The greatest loss is not loss of property or prosperity or privileges or positions. The greatest loss is loss of inspiration in bhakti. When we are not inclined to worship Krishna, when we are not sufficiently inspired to serve Krishna, that's the greatest loss. When Krishna said, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, I will preserve your yoga. Means, I will preserve your inspiration to connect with me. Despite experiencing so many difficulties, there are so many devotees who did not lose faith in Krishna. Abhimanyu died in the battlefield of Kurukshetra as a young boy, teenage boy maybe. And his wife was pregnant at that time. Uttara never blamed Krishna. Krishna, why did you take my husband away? And when Ashwatthama released the Brahmastra to kill the little baby within the womb of Mother Uttara, again Uttara ran to Krishna, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate, Nanyam Tadabhayam Pashyet Yatra Mrutyuh Parasparam. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin, oh Lord, you protect me, you protect me. There is no one else who can protect me other than you. Please protect me. She never thought, this Krishna never protected my husband, Abhimanyu. Will he protect my son, Parikshit? I will find someone else. The greatest loss is loss of faith in Krishna. She never lost that faith, although she faced a very, very terrible reversal in her life at a young age. Kunti Maharani never lost faith in Krishna. Pandavas never lost faith in Krishna. Draupadi Mata never lost faith in Krishna. Many other devotees did not lose their faith in Krishna, although they were subjected to so many reversals in life. So when Krishna said, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, I will preserve your faith in me. I will preserve your inspiration to worship me, your inspiration to connect with me. Kshemam, prosperity. I will reciprocate with your inspiration. Right? So now, even if our offerings or our devotional service that we do is not very attention attracting in a material sense, even if our offerings are very, very simple or simplistic and not very grand or attention attracting, but Krishna looks at our emotions and reciprocates with those emotions. We discussed it in the morning also, I think. Bhavagrahi Janardana. Now we discussed the simplicity of Bhakti Yoga, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, and in reciprocation, Krishna will take care of us, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So Bhakti Pahritam, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Things are very clear, shlokas are very simple. But if somebody does not have the means to even offer patram pushpam phalam toyam, we have seen patram and toyam offered by Advaitacharya, phalam offered by fruit vendor. We missed one thing. What is that? Pushpam, flowers. There's a Gajendra offered a flower. Amazing. There's one more devotee who offered a flower garland. Sudama. Sudama florist, not Sudama Brahmana. We'll discuss Sudama a little later, but the Sudama florist. So Krishna was moving in Mathura. He was touring Mathura city. And all the members of the Mathura city, they came out of their homes, they came on their balconies, they went on the terraces, they were looking at Krishna. They're very happy. They have been hearing about Krishna from different sources. All the news of Vrindavan updates are coming to Mathura, not through WhatsApp, not through some news channels, but those who happen to visit Vrindavan, they are bringing that news to Mathura also. So sometimes the news is also getting slightly distorted. And somehow these devotees were hearing about Krishna. First time they are seeing Krishna, they are very happy. All the Mathuravasis were very happy. But Sudama florist did not come out of his home. Sudama florist was busy at home only, making his garlands. And Sudama florist had the experience of personally seeing Krishna. Many of the Mathuravasis only heard about Krishna, but Sudama florist had the experience of personally seeing Krishna. How? Because he's a florist, he wanted to collect some very, very special flowers, fragrant flowers, which are profusely available in Vrindavan. So he would sometimes go to Vrindavan to collect some special flowers. In Vrindavan, from a distance, he would see this little boy, blue boy, Krishna, playing with his friends. He had that experience of seeing Krishna. Now that he has heard that Krishna has come to Mathura city, Sudama florist wanted to make a special garland for Krishna so that he can offer him. So he's busy in his service, busy in offering, making this garland for Krishna. And Krishna, whenever Krishna notices that his devotee is eager to serve him, Krishna becomes eager to receive that service. Although Sudama florist did not come out of his home to meet Krishna, to offer the garland to Krishna, Krishna asked the Mathuravasis, some citizens in Mathura, there's a florist named Sudama in this locality. Can you please tell me his address? Right? In those days, there was no GPS location. Krishna, acting like a very wonderful, beautiful human child, he is innocently asking, can you please tell me the address of Sudama? Where does he stay? So some people said, you go this way, that way, take a left turn, right turn. And somehow Krishna reached Sudama's home. Very small home, small kutir. He went and stood in front of Sudama, who is very, very busy making his garland. Right? He's putting some flowers. Suddenly he saw some blue feet in front of him. Wow, so beautiful. He lifted his head. Yellow pitambar. He lifted his head. He saw the beautiful face of Krishna. He was so impressed. He was shocked actually. In his divine ecstasy, not knowing what to do, he wanted to offer obeisances to Krishna, but Krishna was standing so close to him, he did not have sufficient space to fall flat. He offered half dandavats, not full dandavats. Then Krishna lifted him up. And Krishna asked him about his welfare and all. And Sudama expressed his fortune of having Krishna at his home. And he offered prayers. It's a long story. To keep it short, Sudama said, my dear Krishna, you have come to my home. My home has become purified. My ancestors became happy. Looks like all the devatas whom I have been worshipping must be very pleased with me. So, what can I do for you? What can I offer you? Tell me. What do you want me to offer? You know what Krishna said? I want a garland from you. Bhakti is very simple, we discussed. One of the aspects of the simplicity of Bhakti is that Krishna will expect that service from you that you can easily offer. Krishna doesn't expect something which you cannot do, something which he has not empowered you to do. As a squirrel, if you can only push some pebbles and sand particles for the construction of Ram Setu, Ram is very happy to accept it. And as Hanuman, you can bring big mountain peaks and boulders for the construction of bridge. Ram will accept that also. Some devotees may have the capacity of squirrels, some devotees may have the capacity of Hanuman, but the Lord is equally pleased with both of them. Because squirrel is serving the Lord to the best of his capacity, Hanuman is serving the Lord to the best of his capacity, and now Krishna is telling Sudama, you just offer garlands for me because you are a garland maker. Krishna did not ask Sudama, you get a diamond necklace for me, or you construct a bridge for me, or you construct a home for me. So Krishna said, okay, give me garlands. And Sudama offered garlands. Not only to Krishna, to Balaram also, to all the associates of Krishna also, all the Gopa boys also. Our service to Krishna is not only service to Krishna. Our service to Krishna is complete only when we render service to the devotees of Krishna also. Because Krishna is a possession of devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino hi asvatantra ivadvijaha. Krishna is the property of devotees. Tvam akinchana gocharam namo akinchana vittaya. Akinchana vitta means Krishna is the wealth of materially impoverished devotees. Not that poor devotees. It's not about poverty-stricken condition. It's about lack of false ego. Having possessions is not wrong. Being possessive about one's possessions, being very proud and puffed up because you have so many possessions and positions and privileges in this world, that is wrong. So pure devotees don't have that ego, and the Lord is the property of such pure devotees. So the Lord is expecting simple offerings from the devotees according to their capacity, which He Himself has bestowed upon them according to their mood. So Sudama offered this garland. So we have seen who offered Patram, who offered Pushpam, who offered Phalam, who offered Toyam. And Krishna is pleased with all of them. But there was one devotee who could not afford to offer any of them. He did not have any of them. He is very poverty stricken. A simple Brahman. He did not have anything to offer to the Lord. One day he went to a class. Some Bhagavatam class. Some Kathakar is giving. Where the speaker said, if you cannot offer something to Krishna, if you cannot afford anything to offer, then you can offer those objects in your mind. Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki jai. You can offer that in your mind. So this man, this simple Brahmana thought that, oh, I never knew this. I can offer things in mind also. That's great. I won't be able to offer physically anything. Even Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam also is difficult for me. So let me offer all these things in my meditation, in my imagination. So he got this new idea. So he went and sat in a small garden. And he established a deity in front of him within the mind, all imagination. Then he began his worship. He went to Ganga river in a golden pot. He brought water from Ganga. Then he went to Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri. He went to all these great rivers and brought water, clean water, transparent waters in golden pots. In imagination, by the way. In meditation. So he brought these pots and he offered this water to the Lord. He bathed the Lord with all these waters. And after that, he offered Panchamrit Abhishek. He then offered very expensive garments, very expensive jewelry to the Lord, and very beautiful fragrant garlands he offered to the Lord. And also, he wanted to offer some special Naivedya, some special food offerings. In this way, every day he is worshipping the Lord with very expensive offerings brought from the best places all over the planet, including water also. He did not compromise. He went to Ganga and then brought water in golden pot. All in imagination. Nothing physical. He's sitting there at one place, closed his eyes. He went everywhere. Mind can take you anywhere. Even Indigo Airlines, Jet Airlines are not as fast as mind. So mind can take you anywhere. He went to all holy places and brought the best ingredients for worship. and he offered to the Lord. Like that, few days passed. Then, one fine day, he wanted to offer some sweet rice to the Lord. He doesn't have the ingredients. He knows the method how to get the ingredients. Close your eyes. He closed his eyes and started collecting pure milk, ghee, sugar, and what else is required? Huh? Rice, main thing, camphor. So he brought all these ingredients and started making an excellent sweet rice within his imagination. And he was waiting. After he made the sweet rice, he just wanted to touch the sweet rice to see whether it is cold or still hot, so that he can offer to the Lord little cool sweet rice, not very hot, burning hot. So he touched the sweet rice, and sweet rice is very hot. He burnt his hand. Not in imagination, in reality. He made this. He cooked the sweet rice in his imagination. He burnt his hand really. Right? Sweet is in imagination. Hot is in heat is in reality. And he was just doing like this out of pain. And Lord Vishnu, sitting in Vaikuntha, started laughing. And Mother Lakshmi saw him. Why are you laughing? Did someone behave in a humorous way here or what? Did someone do some comedy here or what? Why are you laughing? Suddenly, all of a sudden, my dear Lord, Mother Lakshmi asked Lord Vishnu. Then Lord Vishnu said, I'll tell you later. Please wait. Then he called, Vishnu Parshadas, come here. So some Vishnu Dutas came. The Lord said, go in Vaikuntha airplane to Pratishtanpur. There's a simple Brahmana worshipping me with elaborate ingredients. But speciality is, you will not see any ingredients there. You will see him sitting alone. Right? You bring him here. So this Vishnu Parshadas immediately took this Vaikuntha airplane and descended to Pratishtanpur within no time and asked this Brahmana, oh Pratishtanpur Brahmana, please come here, board this airplane. We are Vishnu Dutas, we are sent by Lord Vishnu to pick you up. Pick up facility. And no drop. No more return. Yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramamama. So please board this airplane, we'll take you to Vaikuntha. By the way, this is not imagination, this is reality. Don't think that all the worship is in imagination. His burning of his hand is not imagination. Vaikuntha airplane coming to pick him up is also not imagination. So, this Vishnu Dutas took him to Vaikuntha and he was presented in front of Lord Vishnu. Then Lord Vishnu narrated all his pastimes, all this Brahmana's imaginary worship to Mother Lakshmi and told the Brahmana, stay here, don't go anywhere. नाथेनः पुरुषोत्तमे त्रिजगताम् एकाधिपे चेतसा सेव्ये स्वस्य पदस्य दातरि परे नारायणे तिष्ठति यं कञ्चित् पुरुषाधमं कतिपया ग्रामेशमल्पार्थतम् सेवायै मृगयामहे नरमहो मूढावराका वयम् नाथेनः पुरुषोत्तमे त्रिजगताम्. So that Lord Purushottama, the best of all males, Lord Jagannathji, Krishna, Nathenaha Purushottame Trijagatam. He is the Lord of all the three worlds. Eka Adhipe Chetasa. Eka Adhipe means he is the one and only master of all the three worlds. Now, the next point is Chetasa Sevye. If you worship the Lord even within your mind, even if you cannot offer patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam to the Lord, even if you offer whatever you have to offer within your mind, still, sevye swasya padasya data ripare narayane tishtati. Sevya, you are offering your seva in chetana, in your mind, imagination, meditation. Sevye swasya padasya data. He offers his own pada, his own abode to you. Narayane tishtati. Wherever Narayana is sitting, you will go there. Just by offering service to the Lord within your mind. Sevye svasya padasya datari pare narayane tishtati. By worshipping Purushottama, Lord, even in imagination, even in your meditation, even within your mind, not doing anything physically, still the Lord is so pleased with sincere worship that He will offer His abode to you. Can you just imagine the extent of the mercy of the Lord? Vasudev, was imprisoned. His hands were shackled when Krishna was born in Kamsa's prison cell. He did not have any means to celebrate Krishna's birthday. So what did he do? He offered millions of cows in charity to various brahmanas within his mind. Nanda Maharaj celebrated Krishna's birthday very gorgeously in Vrindavan, in Gokul Mahavan. But Vasudeva, he could not celebrate. He celebrated within his mind. But both are having Vatsalya affection for Krishna, both are devotees of Krishna. Sometimes your service is visible, audible, and recognizable, and many people can see it, many people can know it, but sometimes our service may be secret, may be hidden, may be simple. Nobody recognizes it, nobody acknowledges it, but please be rest assured, Krishna is acknowledging, Krishna is recognizing. The service, the sincere service that we render, either physically or within the mind, may not be visible to the people around us, but Krishna is always seeing us, sitting right within our hearts. So Krishna is receiving all the service. He is very happy to receive that service. And he will be very happy to be captivated in the hearts of the devotees who render such sincere service. But the misfortune of the living entity is, we discussed that first half of the shloka. Nathe naha purushottame trijagatam ekadhipe chetasa sevye svasya padasya datari pare narayane tishthate yam kanchit purushadhamam katipaya grameshamalpathadam. Giving up service to Purushottama, Krishna, conditioned souls serve Purushadhama, materialistic people in this world. Yam kanchit Purushadhamam katipaya gramesham alparthadam. Gramesham means simple landlords in this world. Alparthadam, for meager amount of some freebies or salary or some remuneration, they serve Gramesha, some simple landlords who may be Purushadhama sometimes. Yam kanchit purushadhamam katipaya grameshamalpathadam sevayai mrgayamahe naramaho modhavarakavayam. Modha, that is foolishness, that is lack of intelligence, to depend on materialistic protectors while giving up the ultimate protector, Krishna. So even service rendered within the mind is very palatable to Krishna if it is done with a sincere intent. Now we have seen devotees who offered invisible service and the Lord reciprocated. And there are some devotees who saw the Lord within their mind, who became very attached to the Lord within their mind, even without seeing Him, only by hearing about Him. There are some simple Brahmana ladies in Vrindavan. Very simple. Their husbands were Yagnik Brahmanas. They were into Vedic rituals, they were into Vedic study, they did so many things. But these ladies are very simple. They did not do many things, but they had greater devotion for Krishna than these Yagnik Brahmanas. When Krishna had sent his cowherd boyfriends for begging some food to the Brahmanas, Brahmanas completely ignored them. They did not say yes, they did not say no also. Completely ignored them. Then these boys came back, disappointed. Then Krishna said, go to their wives, they will give you charity. So these boys went to, cowherd boys went to these ladies and said, Krishna is nearby, he's hungry, we need some food. Immediately, all these ladies collected all kinds of offerings in their hands and they ran towards Krishna just like rivers flow towards the ocean. They came to Krishna fast. But why did they develop such devotion? They never saw Krishna before. But these people developed such intense devotion for the Lord by hearing about Krishna. There are some simple vegetable sellers and fruit vendors who are moving around in Vrindavan. They go to this Brahmana's village also. They sell vegetables and fruits there also. While selling vegetables and fruits, they also describe Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's glories in front of these simple Brahmana ladies. And by hearing these simple descriptions of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela from these simple vegetable sellers and fruit sellers, these Brahmana ladies fell in love with Krishna completely. But their husbands, although they are so much into Vedic study, they could not fall in love with Krishna. Right? So with a simplicity of heart, even if somebody hears about the Lord in a 112, how much? I'm sorry, 115 you said, right? I'll conclude in a few minutes. So with their simple devotion, they came with all these offerings. They never saw the Lord. So hearing about the Lord establishes our connection with the Lord very strongly. That even without seeing Him, we'll fall in love with Him. We would like to serve Him. Many people say, why are you asking us to worship the Lord? Did you see God? Did you see Him? Did you talk to Him? You show me once. Then I will worship Him. Many people have this argument. But even without seeing the Lord, by hearing about the Lord, you can love Him, you can serve Him. And that service, that loving service, will enable us to see the Lord one day. That He will reciprocate with us. Similarly, Rukmani Devi also, she never saw Krishna initially. But she was hearing. She was hearing about the Lord from Narada Muni and many other Brahmanas and sages who came to her palace. She was hearing about the Lord. And she fell in love with the Lord completely. And when she was about to be married to Shishupal, although she is longing for Gopal, so she found a Brahmana, little Brahmana, and said, I wrote a special love letter, probably the foremost love letter in this world. So she wrote a love letter and gave it to this Brahmana and requested him, please give it to Krishna. And Krishna saw that letter. What's written in the letter? Shritva gunan bhavana sundara srinvatam te nirvishta karna vivaraihi haratongatapam rupam drisham drishimatam akhilarthalabham tvayyachyuta vishati chittam apatrapammi. She said that, O Lord, Shritva gunan, I have heard about your qualities. Bhuvana Sundara Srinvatante. Oh, Bhuvana Sundara. Bhuvana Sundara means the most beautiful person in the entire universe. She never saw him. Rukmini Devi never saw Krishna, but she is saying you are the most beautiful. How can you say that? Shritva, she heard about him. Shritva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Srinvatante Nirvishta Karna Vivaraihi Haratonga Tapam. Just by hearing about the descriptions of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela through our ears, we can develop an understanding of Krishna's beauty, Krishna's qualities, and fall in love with Krishna, and develop an inspiration to serve Krishna, and eventually reach Krishna. So hearing is very important. Vyamoha prashamaushadham munimano vritti pravrityaushadham दैत्येन्द्रार्तिकरौषधं त्रिभुवने सञ्जीवनैकौषधम् भक्तात्यन्तहितौषधं भवभयाप्रध्वंसनैकौषधं श्रेयः प्राप्तिकरौषधं पिबमन श्रीकृष्णदिव्यौषधम् व्यामोहप्रशमौषधम्. Vyamoha is different kinds of illusions and bewilderments and confusions. Vyamoha prashamaushadham. By hearing Krishna Katha, by the process of Sravanam, all your bewilderments and confusions are gone. Vyamoha prashamaushadham muni manovritti pravrityaushadham. Muni manovritti will become pravritti. Basically, by hearing about the Lord, will become inspired to serve the Lord. दैत्येन्द्रार्तिकरौषधं त्रिभुवने सञ्जीवनैकौषधं. दैत्येन्द्रार्तिकरौषधं. Even great kings of demons also become very fearful when you hear Krishna Katha. The glories of Krishna are so unlimited that just by the mere existence of these glories, all the demons will run away. All the demons within our hearts, like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, they will also run away. Daityendratika Raushadham Tribhuvane Sanjeevanaikaushadham. Tribhuvane Sanjeevanaikaushadham. Means in all the three worlds, this Krishna Katha will act like Sanjeevani. What is Sanjeevani? That which revives the life of an unconscious person, a dead person. Hanumanji brought Sanjeevani and revived the lives of so many people in that Lanka war. And Shukracharya had the Sanjeevani mantra through which he revived the lives of Bali Maharaj and many other demons who fell down. Sanjeevani means that which induces life. Krishna Katha is the real Sanjeevani. It's the real life for all of us. So by hearing about the Lord, we develop inspiration to connect with the Lord and serve the Lord and eventually reach the Lord. Bhaktatyantahitaushadham bhavabhaya pradhamsanaikaushadham Shreya praptikaraushadham pibamana Sri Krishna divyaushadham. Bhakta atyanta hitaushadham, this medicine of Krishna Katha, which is like nectar. Many medicines are not like nectar. You take some Ayurvedic medicine, you have to boil it, kada, make it half, make it 1/4, right? It's required for health, but sometimes or many times these kadas are not very tasty. But it's medicine, it's required for the body, but it may not be very tasty to the tongue. But Krishna Katha, it's Aushadha also, it is Sidhu also, it is tasty nectar also. Nectarian medicine. But generally, even if the medicine is very sweet, say homeopathy medicines are very sweet, or some other tonics, cough syrups are very sweet. Because they are sweet, you cannot just swallow 1 liter syrup. One mittu full of homeopathy tablets, right? So medicine has to be taken in a limited quantity. But Krishna Katha medicine can be taken in unlimited quantity. No problem. No indigestion. Bhaktatyanta hitaushadham bhavabhaya pradhamsanaikaushadham. Bhavabhaya, we will be relieved from all material fears. Fear is a prominent emotion amongst the conditioned souls. However, that fear can be vanquished when you hear Krishna Katha. You hear, chase away fear. Right? Fear cannot exist in the hearts of those who hear Hari Katha. So, because you understand the glories of Krishna and you develop a sense of dependence on the most powerful master Krishna. You develop faith that Krishna is your protector by hearing. And when you believe that Krishna is your protector and is all powerful, all merciful, where is fear? There is no fear. So one who is fearful is basically in material consciousness. But fearlessness is one of the foremost qualities of a devotee. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi. So Abhayam is one of the foremost qualities of a devotee. All this will be induced by the process of hearing. So let us try to connect with the Supreme Lord through the process of hearing and by embracing the simple process of Bhakti Yoga, where you just offer something, whatever you have, whatever you can afford with love, with affection, and Krishna will reciprocate. We need to realize our awkward, humiliating situation in this material world, very embarrassing situation in this material world. Most of the times, people find that I'm in a good situation. The desperateness will not come in their minds. That eagerness or desperateness to depend on Krishna will not come in their minds because there is a sense of material security. But we need to realize that we are in a very precarious condition and not become fearful, but take shelter of Krishna and become fearless. Samsarambhasi sambhrita brahma bhare kambhirata patraya grahena bhigrihita mugra gatina kahushantam bhayat दीप्त्रेणाद्य सुदर्शनेन विबुधा क्लान्तिच्छिदाकारिण चिन्ता सन्ततिरुद्धमुद्धर हरे मच्चित्तदन्तीश्वरम्. My mind is like an elephant. Just like this elephant, Gajendra was caught up in this lake in the clutches of crocodile, I am also caught up in this material ocean, in the clutches of crocodile of Maya or material miseries. Oh Lord, just as you protected Gajendra by releasing your Sudarshan Chakra, you protect me also. Uh, that is the prayer offered to the devotee in desperateness, in a mood of utter dependence on the Supreme Lord Krishna. So it's our glorious fortune that we have access to all these scriptures, all this knowledge by the mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and many of His loyal followers who are inspiring us continuously in the practice of bhakti. So let us take this opportunity to absorb ourselves in the process of hearing and bhakti in general. And please bless me also so that I absorb myself in the process of bhakti without any distractions or deviations. And if I made any mistakes, kindly forgive me. And I seek your blessings. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 130. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for beautifully understand how simple is bhakti and then how we need to practice it. Which is a question that I wanted to ask for. So, as you explained that even bhakti can be practiced even by worshiping the Lord in the mind. So, how?
Good that you asked this question. Please continue. I have to put a star. Conditions apply. I didn't put the elaborate on the star there. Yeah.
But I wanted to ask that in the practice of bhakti as a sadhaka, there is also need to endeavor using our body
Yes, yes,
for
definitely.
its that. And there are also situations where that becomes difficult and still continue to worship the Lord in the mind. So, how do we draw the underline between the both?
The simple explanation for this is, even we discussed in the class, when you cannot afford an offering, when physically serving the Lord is not possible, those are the circumstances you offer mental service. Uh, Now, because of old age or some sickness or some other circumstances, you may not be able to go to a dham or a yatra. But you could not go to Mayapur, you could not go to Vrindavan. You can always close your eyes and then remember Govardhan. You can always close your eyes and remember Radha Sham Sundar, Radha Madhav, right? So you could not come to temple on some on some festival day. Uh, so you can always do some whatever little service you can afford at home. So basically, when there is a possibility, when you have the capacity, then you actually participate in the limb of bhakti that you are supposed to participate. But when there is no possibility because of circumstances, then all this mental service will come into picture, right? Thank you.
Hare Krishna, please don't stand up, please take your places. Don't come near the altar. Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Vasudev offered, yes, ma'am. Vasudev offered charity to so many brahmanas within his mind because he was in jail. But Nanda Maharaj did not say, I can also offer charity in the mind. He did elaborate Nandotsav, right? So we need to see the context in which mental service is offered. This Pratishtanpur Brahman is very poor. If just by offering mental service the Lord is so merciful, what to speak of physically offering service? That's the perspective we need to get. Any other question? Mataji, so many questions are there, 5, 6 hands. Mike will come to you. Whenever it comes, you ask the question.
Please don't gather. Shitali will be only a gate. Don't come here until there will be no altar Shitali.
Yes, some devotees ask.
Who was Garland maker? Some story maker.
Sudama garland maker, yeah, he is there in Mathura in his previous life. Oh, okay, okay. Sudama florist was a florist called Hema Mali in Kubera's, I think Kubera's mm, garden, right? So he wanted to worship Krishna, worship Shiva, this Kubera, and he was taking care of the garden. So once Hemamali also worshipped Shiva with about 5,000 flowers, lotus flowers or something like that, and he Shiva became pleased with his worship, and Hemamali asked a benediction from him. I need to get an opportunity to directly offer garlands to Krishna. Then Shiva blessed him, and then by blessings of Lord Shiva, he got this opportunity. Last question. Devotees are saying last. Okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, that question. So there is actually the proper values that we have to go something. It is that the body is of the world.
Actually, the bodily conception goes away. Automatically, bodily distress goes away, right? When you are not identifying yourself with the body, whatever is happening to the body, it doesn't matter to you. Okay. Thank you. Any other question? Yes, Mathu. You can sit, bro. You can sit. Devotees behind you were unable to see. You can sit. Huh? Oh, very difficult question. He's asking, what's your favorite shloka in the Mukundamala Stotra? He asked in Telugu. I like many shlokas, bro. I can't say one. Okay, I quoted a couple of shlokas here.
All that is gone. So then I think like the past time we can see that it comes up with Jesus about the Lord, that how he worshiped this and how he is like with even Ram and others. So what is the difference that where it comes from their heart from people? Sometimes it's the same.
Yes. Katha is the same. Why it did not transform their hearts? You take a glass of water, pour some milk in it. They'll mix. You take a cup of lemon juice, pour some milk in it. Both are milk, same milk, but the reaction is different, right? This is Nimbu juice and that is normal water. So it's not just about the process of hearing, it is the intention behind hearing. In what mood are we hearing? So when Shishupal was hearing about Krishna's glories, Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain. What did Shishupal think? He lifted one little mound of earth and then people are glorifying him as Govardhan Giridhari. And people are glorifying. Krishna subdued Kaliya. Then Shishupal says, he just subdued some water snake and people are glorifying so much. Actually uh, okay, anyways. Shishupal's underestimating or demeaning Krishna's pastimes is done with a negative mindset, but there are positive meanings to it. In comparison to Krishna's glory, Govardhan mountain is small only. And Kaliya is a water snake only. One who is sleeping on Anantasesha bed, for him to subdue Kali is not a big deal, right? So that criticism of Shishupal is also glorification of Krishna. But, okay, Jahnavi, you can just put down your hand. So now Shishupal is blaspheming the Lord, but that's a glorification of the Lord. So similarly, when we see that devotees are hearing, they eagerly hear. When demons are hearing, they hear in a negative mindset. Therefore, transformation is not caused in their hearts. But when they blaspheme the Lord, Their blasphemy, although it is done with a negative intention, that has a positive interpretation. Thank you. Yes, you can ask now. This little kid.
Bhakti is very simple, but all people don't take Bhakti simple. Like some people take very difficult.
Sorry?
So he said Bhakti is very simple, but all people don't take it simple. And people take many instructions and they say Bhakti.
Bhakti is simple, but the person who is practicing bhakti is very complex. Okay. Bhakti is simple for you. Children also can do bhakti. But when the mind is filled with so many complexities, desires, thoughts, emotions, feelings, distractions, attachments, allurements, bhakti seems complex. Even the simple process of chanting also seems complex because the mind is complex. Chanchalam himanaha Krishna. You know the shloka? Chanchalam himanaha Krishna, you don't know? Okay. Mind is very obstinate. Mind is very restless, fickle. Therefore, bhakti seems very complicated. Okay, got the answer right? Okay. Any other question? Yes. Who has the mic now? Mic disappeared. Basically, time up. Yes. I think we will conclude today. I have two other classes. Yeah. But I think we can even conclude.
Hare Krishna. So please wait few more minutes. So Kada will continue for few more minutes. But those devotees who are going for Prashadam, I think instead of standing in queue for hours, I think we can go for short Nagar Sankirtan and come back. By that time, the queue will be less and we can have Prashadam. So don't queue for Prashadam the down. So wait and hear the Katha, the nectar of Katha. Please keep hearing for few more minutes. I think you want to ask one more question. One.
Many questions are there. We can take it.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji want to move for another class. So let us thank Prabhuji with loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are going to have Kirtan Ramadashtam. After 10-15 minutes, there will be no. Either you please hear Kirtan or go for a short Nagar Sankirtan, come back. Hare Krishna. So we have few announcements. Matais and can you please for